accomplish as players, as a franchise. I think that's when it really hit us. But we definitely don't take it for granted being in this position.
LeBron, over here. When did it sort of dawn that this could be a special night, that you guys would maybe have your ultimate game? Was it yesterday in practice? Was it the walkthrough and shoot around today? Was it just when it got going? But when did you sort of know you absolutely hit your stride in this game?
I don't know. I would say it had to be at the end of the first quarter. We started to get a good groove. And we was down 9-2 to start the game, and from that point on, they only scored 4 points. It's crazy. They scored 4 points from that point on, and we just locked in and got a good groove. And I think it started with Bird coming into the game. His rebound and his effort that he gave us when he came into the game, gave us 6 defensive rebounds, gave us 3 buckets from drives from Norris and guys, and his dunk and his layup. I think that's what picked us up. And then Rashard was obviously the key to everything. His ability to stretch the floor, shoot the ball, and play the way he played tonight. Once those guys, man, got it going, I think we all fed off of it.
LeBron, you took a lot of lumps early in your career from teams like Boston that were determined to kind of mentally shake you as part of their game plan. How much, if any, did those experiences help you get past all the goofiness of Lance Stevenson and the other stuff they were trying to do to you in this series?
I always believe in a really good friend of mine. Told me that the best teacher in life is experience. And when you go through so many things, you're able to learn from it. You're able to know how to go about it next time you face those trials and tribulations or wherever the case may come. And you're better prepared for it. So, being around a group of guys like this, me being in the positions that I've been in the past where I failed, but I was never defeated, and that's for me, to be able to come back from failure and continue to come back and mentally be able to stay strong. It defines who you are as a man more than anything.
LeBron, to use a word that Spell often coins, there was noise all year about Indiana's drive to win the East, and look at the standings at one point. They were obviously comfortably up most of the year. Did doubt ever seep into the room at all that you guys would end up being in the position that you're in right now?
Not at all. Not at all. I felt like I told the guys before the Eastern Conference or wherever, before the season before the playoffs started, that this was going to be our path. It's different. We're going to have to win on the road. We have to start on somebody else's floor in order to be able to represent the Eastern Conference in the finals. And the guys, we all responded. We all took that challenge. Obviously we had the first 2 rounds on our floor, but we knew if Indiana took care of business, we had to start on their floor. And we just had that mindset. We had that mindset, and if we want to ultimately, represent the Eastern Conference in the finals, we had to win on the road, and we was able to accomplish that.
Dwyane, for you, you're going to have another rematch, whether it's OKC or San Antonio. Anything you learned?
Not for me.
Well, you weren't. LeBron,
I wasn't here.
You weren't here when they
No, I wasn't.
when they beat Dallas the first time.
No.
So, Dwyane, for yourself, anything that you learned from that, Dwyane, after you played Dallas twice and now going into either playing a team you're going to eventually play again?
Hopefully it's not the same outcome, as it was the first time around. But whoever we meet in the next round, it's going to be a big challenge. Obviously we beat them in the finals. Whether it's San Antonio from last year that feel that they had us, whether it was a young OKC team that we beat 2 years ago. It's going to feel that they're more prepared for this moment. It's going to have its own challenges, but wouldn't want it any other way. Wouldn't have it any other way. I think having the 4 best teams in the NBA all season, to represent the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference is ideal and perfect for this league. And the 2 best teams will meet, and we're just happy and excited that we're one of the best.
LeBron, you mentioned that you knew your path would be different. You told the guys this, but did you think as you were kind of going through uneven stretches, the regular season, Dwyane being out for long periods of time that you'd be able to get to this level, particularly defensively? Did you think it was still in this team to get here?
Well, I believe if we ever got to a point where our whole team was able to be available for Spo, and for all of us, that we could compete with anybody. Never concerned about that. Obviously, going through, the week and grind and months of a regular season, it was a toll on all of us. But I felt like down the stretch, if we can get healthy, we can get everyone in uniform and have our full strength. It didn't matter what seed we were. I felt like we can, represent the Eastern Conference again in the finals if we had the help, and we was able to accomplish that.
LeBron, how did you restrain yourself when Lance put his hand on your face, and then what was your reaction to his foul on Norris Bowl?
I don't know. I have no idea how I restrained. I don't know. I guess I just understand what the bigger picture is. It was uncalled for sure. That was I don't know. I'm lost for words with that, but it was uncalled for. But I was able to move on from it, and I let him know how I felt. And I felt, it could have been the fact that it was Lance that hit Norris. It was a little bit. You can have your own assumption of what it is. If it was C.J. Watson that hit Norris, we'd say he went for the ball. The fact that it was Lance, we could say he went for his face. So, wrong place at the wrong time, or at the right time for Lance in his case.
Dwyane, fifth time in 9 years for you and UD to go to the finals, 5 and 8 for LeBron. I don't want you to feel excluded from another question now, but no worries. Does it even seem real, particularly with a 15 and 67 thrown in there as well? I mean, to go there more than every other year on average. I mean, does it seem real yet that you guys are going to do that?
No, man. You get drafted, and you're just happy to be in the NBA. You want to make a name for yourself. And, 11 years later, been in the finals, won the finals 5 times, and now has won the championship. So you just never know how, your life and your path is going to plan out. If you just do things the way that you should do them, the way you feel that it should be done, live with the mistakes that you make, get better from them, and just be who you are. Great things happen to you, and that's a prime example, for all of us. Me and him, meeting in Chicago, sitting in a room, getting tested by teams, getting tried out. Didn't know that this relationship that we was gonna have was gonna turn into this, and you just never know. So I think we've all put ourselves in great situations, and we're just gonna continue to try to enjoy, this moment that we're in, because it's an amazing moment, and it's something that for a lifetime is gonna fulfill us as athletes. Even when we can't play this game, we're gonna always be able to talk about, this. So we just want to continue to add to what we accomplish.
LeBron, before earlier Frank Vogel came in here, I know you dealt with your share of comparisons over the course of your career, but he said that he felt like you guys are the Chicago Bulls of this era and that you're the Michael Jordan of this era. When you hear something like that, I mean, how does that make you feel, and do you feel this team is at that level? Me and D-Wade grew up watching the great Chicago Bulls team, the great Michael Jordan, and the rest of those guys. And anytime I hear my name or our team in the same breath with legends and great teams and franchises, it's so humbling, man. It's like, I really don't know. I don't. It's 2 kids from the inner cities, respective cities where they're from, and we never thought we'd get to this point. So to be able to play the game that we love at a high level for one another, for our teammates, it's the ultimate. And when you hear the comparisons, you respect it, you're humbled by it, and you just feel like, while you're in the moment, hopefully, while you're playing the game, that you can make an impact enough to when you move on, people will start comparing you to the ones that's in the game at the present time. And so it's very, very, very humbling.
LeBron, there was a lot of energy in this building from the opening tip. How much were you guys able to feed off of that right from the get-go?
Not so well. We was down 9-2. So obviously we didn't do our part. But we knew our fans were gonna come out. It's a Friday night in Miami. I mean, we have an opportunity to close out, and our fans have been amazing thus far. And we just want to try to do our part. Obviously, the first couple minutes wasn't the start that we wanted, but we was able to get back into the game, and we just fed off the energy, from our fans, fed off the energy from one another, and we just kept it going.
Question for both of you. 3 years ago, when you guys beat Chicago Bulls in 5 games to advance to the finals, what do you remember from that? Does it feel like just 3 years ago? And how does the emotions, how do they change from then until now?
We was just talking about this the other day. We remember being down like 10, going into the end of the game, and then next thing you know, we was like looking at each other like we just won. It was a bizarre ending, and we was like, wait, we in the finals? It happened so fast in that series, but just remember being kind of a young team, still figuring it out. Still figuring out at the end of the game where the ball was going, how it was going to get there, what we was doing defensively. But we did our job and we got to the finals. But it seemed like a long time ago. We were still kids. It seemed like, and now just being more prepared, for this moment. Seizing a moment like tonight. Not a moment, I don't think inside none of us that we felt that we was going to lose this ball game. We knew we was going to impose our will. We didn't know the outcome, but we knew we was going to impose our will, here at home. And I think we was a little unsure years ago, in kind of the Chicago series. And so that was the difference.
You got it.
Thank you.